I've been called a lot of things during the duration of my life. Many of them good, some of them less than desirable. And out of all the things that I've been called, I have never been called tall. And that shit's just disrespectful because I identify as being 6'5". Shut up. My pronouns are he, him, his, sexy, and tall like. And who are you calling delusional? You're a robot who identifies as being a human being. And stop believing out. Roll the intro. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new and improved Midnight Media Review with Moel, a show for content creators by a content creator. Now, it is 2024, and everyone's doing the same thing they do every year. Setting New Year resolutions, running to the gym, New Year, new me, New Year, new boo. New Year, same shit. For me, it's New Year, new set. Now I can do shit like this. Angles, motherfucker. Angles. Angles. I even got a mic. You're a professional, right? Now I can do shit like this. Luke, I am not your daddy, but your mama called me daddy. Give us some Barry White. You Barry White? I don't know if I can get that deep. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Take it off, baby. Take it all off. Wait. I got one more. There's people making babies to my music. It's kind of big though. That's what she said. That was good. That was real good. Reggie the Road Bitch, ladies and gentlemen. We have a good show for you guys tonight. Some of you came here for the segments. Some of you came here to see this pretty face make an ass of myself during the commercial break. And some of you are here for tonight's special guest. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Wax the producer is in the house tonight. Well, I guess technically he's not in the house because he'll be joining us later on over a video call. But nevertheless, he's in the house, so stay tuned. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. And don't forget to ring that bell for future episodes. Now, the first segment of tonight sucks. S.U.C.S. Which stands for shit you see on social media. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Moel, social media, 2 words. Well, you know what? Lean in for me a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Fuck you. You think I'm about to sit here and say sucks, followed by you're out your goddamn mind. Because that shit is... God damn, look at the time. Let's review the media. Roll it!
Speak. Fuck! Good boy.
My favorite one was a dog. I don't know. Could you imagine having a dog that barked, but the bark sounded like fuck? Honestly, I would just like walk my dog right past my neighbors every morning. Hey, Bob. Fuck! So, the New Year came and went. Traditionally, the New Year is celebrated with fireworks. And every year it seems like people always try to find new ways of celebrating. This year, in Miami, Police were called to the scene of the Miami Mall where allegedly a bunch of teens were setting off fireworks in the mall. Apparently a brawl broke out, which sent many of the crowd scattering trying to escape the madness. Now, during this time, dozens upon dozens of police squad cars, including helicopters, were racing to the scene to try to contain the madness. The amount of officers that responded to the scene had people start thinking, why would there be the need for so many police to respond to a petty teen brawl? Now, this thought then snowballed into a new thought. There must be something that the police are covering. Why would there need to be so many cops for a teen brawl? Clearly, there's something else going on. The public then began to suspect aliens. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Aliens at the mall in Miami. It sounds crazy, right? We have footage. Now, I'm not sure if this footage has been doctored in any kind of way. I'm also not sure if that's even an alien that I see on the sidewalk. But I do know one thing. Somebody was there. And he said this.
No cap, I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start.
But then out of nowhere, this same man said this.
I ain't never even been to Miami. Shit, yo, y'all be bugging. Yo, real shit though, y'all stay away from them aliens and all that. Y'all be safe.
Now, him retracting his statement led people to believe that either one, he was paid off, or two, he was paid to visit. Now, it gets better because on the same night in Orlando, Florida, a woman recorded this.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't want to get that close. Oh shit! You think that's
corny?
Oh my god! What's that, Chinese lantern? Oh my god, that's scary. Oh my god, I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna get behind you guys. Hold on. I can't really.
See it?
Is that it? Wait, hold on.
Oh, there's lots. Some of them are all in the corner.
Oh my god, okay, I see something. Oh my god, I never seen something like that before.
Now, based off this video, I think it's safe to say that this woman saw things that she never thought she'd ever see before. But more importantly, her husband heard his wife say things he never thought he would hear before. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, no.
The Epstein list just released, and seems like no one's talking about it. So I will. Now, there's like well over 100 people on this list. Some of them probably obvious, like, like the Clintons, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey. But some of them was a little bit, like, surprising for me. Like, Bruce Willis, Leonardo DiCaprio, Chris Tucker. Now, I didn't even think that Chris Tucker was even, like, big enough to be, like, an elite. But the most surprising one for me was Stephany Hawking. Because, like, what the fuck? How's he even getting off? Like, nothing works from head to toe. The only thing that really works is his mouth. Ah, shit. Fuck, I just got it. I just got it.
Are you smacking your coffee?
Oh, you thought it was coffee? I don't even drink coffee. Shit, what is the fucking next segment? God damn, that shit's gross. Oh my god. Okay. The next segment, content creators. Now, I didn't have like a really catchy name for this segment. And if you guys figure out something to call it, let me know. But this segment is to showcase good content creators that either I follow or that I've heard about. So tonight we have Ace Bang. Now, if you know who he is, good for you. If you don't, give him a follow. But this guy does a lot of like funny voiceover comedy work, and he does it with like cartoons that we have seen from either our childhood or things that are out right now. But the shit is fucking hilarious. Roll it!
Yuck! What the hell are you doing, Velma?
I'm looking for my glasses.
You could at least have the decency to put an arch in that shit.
Oh, I do. I just count by the Carters. So you got the Carter 1, then you got the Carter 2, then you got the Carter 3.
I make your whole fucking body one sore spot. We in the crime capital, so keep your doors locked. She gave me some head and now I'm leaving. I don't return the favor, I don't eat.
Why you doing Catwoman like that?
One time I had off pain and I was bleeding.
I remember that.
Bitch, what you human for?
No reason. It's just unexpected.
Why is that unexpected? A nigga can't have goldfish in this bitch?
I mean, no, you can have goldfish. I mean, I just didn't expect you to have them.
Well, guess what? I do. Finley, Bubbles, and Nemo. They are my babies.
Fact, I have an auntie by marriage on my mother's side that passed away when I was 14, thank you very much. An auntie doesn't count. It has to be parents. Parents directly related to you. Shut up! Who the fuck died and made you the dead parent police?
My goddamn parents!
Now, I've been keeping up with his work, and I get a pretty good kick out of his content. And I think that you will too. I think you should give him a follow. Now, this next segment is called The Plug. Now, this is just a segment where we want to promote independent brands and businesses, because we want to see the little guy win. No matter how big or how small our part is, we're here to promote. And tonight, we bring you a brand that is much needed in the world of fashion. A brand created by Lashonya Hamilton, who is also the founder and CEO. This brand is called Big Hair Hoops. Now, Big Hair Hoops is a very innovative design, which will solve the problem for earring visibility for women all around the world. Women with like long hair, nice, thick, wavy hair. Women with big volume curly hair. My fucking favorite. Because most of these styles tend to have like problems showing your earrings. Most of these styles cover your ears, thus covering your earring. But with Big Hair Hoops' patent pending open loop design, your earrings will always stand out no matter your hairstyle preferences. The open loop comes with a hair clip on the end for easy customizable placement. Just clip on the desired area of your hair and out the door you go. Big Hair Hoops can be purchased at bighairhoops.com. If you don't have hair, get a wig. If you don't have ears, oh shit, I don't know, man. Get them for somebody who does. Don't be a hater. Show the love. This next segment is called IGBG, which stands for Instagram Beauty Goddess. Now, I wanted to go with Instagram Beauty Queen, but IGBQ just doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Anyways, we showcase a beauty from Instagram. Now, if she's ugly, blame Reggie, because this is his segment. He created this whole entire thing. And if she's not, thank God he's doing his job. So tonight we give you Stephany Gutierrez. She's a fitness model from the Dominican Republic. Roll it. Damn. Okay. There are two things that are definitely facts. Uno, la mujer is muy caliente. Dos, you're doing your job. I see you, brother. Roll, brother. All right, so we are at the end of the first part of this show. So we're gonna send you off to the commercial break because we got some bills to pay. But when we come back, we got Wax the producer in the house. Stay tuned.
All right, man. Ready to do this? No, it's nothing. Just one foot in front of the other. We're going to kill this trail. We're going to hike up. We're going to get it done.
Bro, I'm already sweating.
Hey, man. That's all right. I'm already sweating, too. That just means you're excited. That's all it is. That's all right, man. I got a secret weapon.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, where'd you pull it from?
Hey, don't worry about that. Just put them on. Let's get this working. Hey, man. Get my shoes back.
Bitch slap Earth with the Quake 5s. Let's trail shit up. Available at all retail stores near your mom's house. Welcome back to Midnight Meeting with you, ladies and gentlemen. So, I got a really special guest tonight. He is bringing us his new album, Chasing Stars. He is a multi-talented musical artist. I like to say genius. He's done rapping, singing, dancing, writing.
Hey, can y'all hear me good? Or do you need the mic up? I'ma need that you save my life. I'ma need you come through, put it on me how I like. Slide through, hit the lights, phones off for the night. I don't crack under pressure. I don't crack under pressure. Just respect me forever. You could keep all the extras. She bad and she know it. Hella fine, yeah, she know it. She the type that made me throw it. On me, she can get it out. Know what's up when she show it. Girl, I need that. Hey, show me that. Girl, I need that. You say. Let's rock.
Please welcome Wax, the producer. Wax, how you doing?
That's good. I'm good, man. Honored to be here. Honored to be that, man.
Oh, man, hey, I just appreciate you coming onto the show. I feel like we got some fire for everybody to get prepared for tonight. Chasing Stars. Okay, so first of all, thank you for giving me the honor to basically review this album before the release date. I feel as though I might be a little biased, but you have a whole catalog full of work, and this might be my favorite album.
What?
Honestly, like I kid you not, like and it's not just because of like one or two songs. I feel like you put in the work on every single track, and I really wish that I had the time to talk about every single song on the album tonight. But we're just gonna start off with a couple of them. So, your first song on the track on the album is Bippity. Now, what was going through your mind when you was like, you know what? I like that Snow White song. I'm gonna put my own spin on it. Like, what were you thinking? Because I never would have thought that Bippity would be a song that I would actually want to play in my car until I heard your song.
Well, it's so funny. It was one of those situations. I was at my homie's. I was at one of my guy brother's house. I was at his house. Shout out to Keys Open Doors. If you don't know who he is, I want everybody to tap in. But anyways, I was at his house. And it was just another regular day, honestly, just another day in the neighborhood, you know. And we was just on some cook up. I think he was playing Smash Bros at the time. And I sat down at the computer and I was like, man, I'm about to make something out of this. Because it was one of those weird things. As a creative, I know some other people may go through this, but it was basically stuck in my head all day. Like the bibbidi bobbidi boo was stuck. I don't know why. Like I can't even answer the why. The universe was talking. But it was stuck in my head all that day. And I kept singing bibbidi bobbidi boo. And I was like, damn, I'm about to make a beat out of this. Literally at work. I'm telling myself, I'm about to make a beat out of this. I got over there, sat down. I loaded it up through the sample in there. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know it was going to turn out the way it did. But it was basically more or less just me challenging myself. Yeah. And then as I got through some of the production and then that first verse, I was, listening back, I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually, because I didn't know if it was going to be cool or not. But actually, as I got through that first verse, I was starting to catch the vibe. And I was like, oh, this is actually kind of dope. Which, kind of helped me get through the song. And then Keys Open Doors, put some backgrounds on the hook. That's why it sounds so full in certain areas. It has like a lot of layers to it. But yeah, man, it came together really well.
No, it's actually a really good song. I was very impressed with your process and how you actually put a spin on something that was a child sing-along song. And so you brought it to like a new age and made it for adults. So I commend you for your work, man. It's actually really good. I'm gonna drop down to Chasing Stars. This is probably my favorite song. I know that it's also the name of the album. Chasing Stars is it's a beautiful song and it's a beautiful beat. It kind of reminds me of the Famous from French Montana. And not to say like it sounds like it. It gives me this Famous.
Famous. I don't listen to enough French Montana.
I hope you don't get famous.
I'm gonna go listen to it though after
it's
this.
a little old, but like so it doesn't sound like the song. It just gives me the same vibe that Famous gave me. And you got some lyrics on the song. It says, well, it's actually part of the hook. You're always chasing stars, taking it too far, out of my reach. Can you please explain like what do you mean by that? Like break it down, like your process on your meaning behind it.
So I guess I'll explain the whole premise of the song because the way I write is usually I like to make it kind of conversational. I don't even do it on purpose, but somebody else pointed this out to me when they listened to a lot of my songs. They're like, a lot of your songs they seem real conversational. I kind of I'm more keen to it now, so I'm more aware of it. But that song specifically, you're always chasing stars, taking it way too far out of my reach. It's basically just implying that, like, and I'm sure a lot of dudes have been in these situations where for you, your perspective on whatever the thing may be, it might be like real minuscule, right? Like it might not be a big deal to you, or you could be like it's a simple fix. But then the girl in the situation, because you might not be adhering to how she feels or whatever, it could be anything. Mm-hmm. But I say the whole chasing stars premise is basically you're basically taking it to a place where it's not that deep, or you're making it more than what it really is. Or you're people like you're reaching, and I think that's one way to look at it. And it's also saying out of my reach is like that could be either I'm not emotionally there, I'm not willing to go there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's and there's different ways to look at it. It's all perspective because for me I was just looking at it like let me go back. If you listen to the first verse, mm-hmm. I'd say honestly I was too real about everything. That line in there is kind of pretty much the whole song. It embodies the whole song. Like you're basically upfront about something, whatever it may be, and the whole chasing stars comes from this person. They're trying to create a scenario that wasn't really there because you told them what it was.
That's true. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of little entendres and a lot of I think up for interpretation things about that song that I like about it. But it's probably my favorite. That and Baby is probably my favorite.
So it's funny because like I'm glad that I had you break that down because the way that I interpret it, which is the reason why it gave me the same feel of Famous, is because he was saying that like he really liked this girl and he liked her so much that he hoped that she wouldn't get famous so that other men wouldn't like her as much as he did. So basically he was saying that he wanted to keep her all to himself. Kind of like that idea. So like when I was listening to your hook, I was thinking, I wonder if he's like on the same kind of process of I wish she would stop chasing stars so she could be with me type of situation.
That's another way to look at it. It's another interpretation because a lot of the verse is kind of talking about basically the first verse embodies it more, but basically like when I say outside in the fast lane, it's one of those things how say I'm not saying it's a healthy thing, but say you're in a situation where you're not really ready to be in a relationship or the other person isn't ready to be in a relationship. And you're just kind of living your life, quote unquote. And to some people, that would say, "Oh, you just, you're living life fast because you're doing X, Y, Z." And the whole chasing stars comes back into it because you guys want different things. You guys are both in different situations. Okay. And so, I guess the verse kind of exemplifies how people kind of want to have their cake and eat it too, whether that be the male or the female in the situation. Like, it's like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. Like, yeah, you're being honest and you're saying you're being honest, but at the same time, you want people to accept your honesty without consequence, if that makes sense. No, not that you should lie. Not that people should lie, but it's like you want people to accept that you can do whatever you want to do and that, they should just have to accept it. Yeah. And so you tell them like to chill out. There's so many ways to interpret it, but I like what you said though.
Okay. So you got a really good process. And you've been doing music for a while. Like for you, like what at what age were you like this is my calling. Music is where I need to be at. This is the path that I'm going to follow. Like, what was the aha moment for you?
Ooh, it's interesting. I'll say I don't want to say, oh, I had a whole bunch of aha moments because I don't think I've had a whole bunch of aha moments.
Yeah.
But in life, you know how life is. Everything in retrospect, like we all have the answers when we go back and think about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think I've had a lot of moments where I can look back and say, oh, it makes sense why I'm here now. But I don't really think I had an aha moment. I think I'm able to look at it now and say, yes, this is my calling, because I can look at times where I know the difference between when I'm not creating and how my life is and how things feel and the trajectory things are going in. And then when I am creating frequently and I look at that and I look at opportunities open up for me, life just feels better in general.
Yeah.
Things seem to be in more of a flow state. And that's
Okay.
across the board in my life. Like when I'm focused in my music and I'm doing things that I need to do, I feel like I'm in a flow state. And also, I think I'm able to help more people musically or just in general when I'm not even just music, but like I'm able to have more of an impact if I'm doing what I perceive to be my calling, which would be music, whether it be teaching, writing, singing, performing, whatever the case is. I'm able to touch more people. And I think that's also the bigger thing about life is, finding things that are bigger than yourself and you can touch people with. So I would say it's that. It's just everything in retrospect and looking at where I'm at now. So I would say probably around when we met, maybe 2015, 16. When I dropped 4 playlists, volume 1.
It was about 15.
That's when, because I've always been making music. Like, you know that. I mean, we know each other. Like, I've been making music for a very long time. But I think 4 playlists, volume 1 was the aha moment when I released something independently on my own. And it wasn't about me making everything. It was that this body of work I put out had such good reception, and it was just pure honest reception because it's coming from somebody. I never put out a singing project before, and it felt like it had a decent enough impact from the level I was at the time to where it's like, yeah, like this isn't something to stop doing. That was a long-winded answer, but
no, you're good. And it's funny because you mentioned foreplay. Now, the song that you have on the track, I keep saying track. The song you have on the album, you got a song called Johnny's Call. And when I first heard it, it took me back to foreplay, and you had Sleepover. And on the end of Sleepover, you got that phone call. And I'm sitting here like, either Wax likes sending women to his voicemail, or he's really just that busy. you got a good amount of songs that got women on the voicemail. I'm like, okay, what's up with Wax and the women on the voicemail? So tell me about Johnny's Call. What's that about?
So that one, that was a funny conclusion you drew. But Johnny's Call, let's see what I say in that song. You honesty, okay. Yeah, that song, I really like that song. Like, I'm thinking about making it a little longer, but I don't know. You can tell me if you like how brief it was. I kind of like how it was already, but I could write more. But where it's at right now, I'm basically just getting that. Not even speaking about myself, but just the stuff we see with whether it be ourselves, friends, family, people stories you hear, and how people get themselves in situationships. Shout out to my dad in the back. But people get themselves in situationships, and then like, what was I gonna say? And everybody says be honest, right?
Yeah.
But the moment you give people like raw honesty, sometimes it doesn't get like good reception, and that's why I said that line like, you want honesty, okay, but you punish the truth. How strange.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it's like
it's
people.
So funny that you said that, because that resonates with me, and it probably resonates with a lot of different people, where they're in these situations where they feel as though honesty is the best policy, but then as they go along in that certain situation or relationship, they realize that every time they're honest, they get punished for being honest.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? This song makes a lot of sense, but
yeah, and I was gonna add,
who the fuck is Johnny though?
Oh no, actually, the funny part is, I have to give the disclaimer of like, she did the skit for me just to do the skit for me. But it was actually my cousin, but she likes having fun with like doing skits. She did another track. I don't know if you heard "Scary Places."
Yeah, I've heard "Scary Places."
Okay, that little right after my verse and hook, there's like the little spot before James goes. That spot where the female talking, that's my cousin too.
Okay, okay. Because I
Her
was
name's
like,
Johnny.
is her name is John? Okay, her name is Johnny. I was like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is Johnny?
But
All
yeah,
right.
she honestly, I already had ideas, but she kind of helped set the playing field for that to go the way it went, and then she honestly recorded it, and I just played behind her, and then I turned it into the beat and the rest of the song and stuff like that.
So you
It
basically
was fun
built the
making it.
track from your cousin.
Yeah,
That's dope. How does she feel
yeah.
about? How does she feel? Like, how does that make her feel being a part of that process?
No, she thought it was dope. When she was sitting there, it was funny. She was saying it's dope seeing like me just create it because she literally saw me. Obviously, people listening to this or watching this interview right now probably haven't heard the song yet, or they're about to be able to hear it. But
Yeah,
you heard it, and you see how it kind of builds into the beat.
it does.
But even I literally just started off with the piano, and then she saw me turn that into like, okay, I like certain accents. Like I hit a certain accent on a certain part that she says that I felt was impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, you probably out there with another," you know. But just she thought it was dope, and I think it'll be a dope listen. Especially that first listen is always dope for people when they don't know where something's going. So I think it'll be
Yeah,
dope.
I'll be honest with you. Like, dang, time is going by so dang fast. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that track to turn into a song, and I like how you like snuck in some of the vocals from Chasing Stars onto the track as you went into the new song. I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. It kind of like reminiscences of like old Drake. You know how he would like do like the little riffs and stuff like that on like from a song he already done and put it into like a new song. I thought that was like really good. Like, okay, so like speaking of like Drake or like other artists, like who would you say has been like a big influence for you in like the music industry?
I would say as far as like the music I'm making right now, I've
Mm-hmm.
always, I started off as a rapper, so it's like that influence will always be there in my writing. That's the way
Yeah.
people hear my songs, they're like, "Dang, you writing it?" The way I write comes from me being a rapper first. But as far as where I'm at now, I would say Eric Bellinger is one of the pivotal, not pivotal, but like the peak inspirations for the sound I'm kind of making now. Like obviously, I've been doing it long enough for it to be like a whack sound. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you've heard my music, like a lot of people hear my like it sounds like I feel like I sound a lot like me now.
Yeah,
Aside from like,
you're definitely like I can't say like you sound specifically like a particular type of person. Although it's funny that you did mention Eric Bellinger because like initially like I did feel like there was like some type of like Eric Bellinger like esque type of like flow to like your music in the beginning. But like I feel like you've definitely like honed your own style, your own flow, like your own feel when it comes to music and stuff like that. And it's funny
I
you
appreciate
mentioned
that.
Eric Bellinger. Like, okay, so you've done a lot of shows and you've like opened up for a good amount of people. Eric Bellinger actually is one of them. Now,
Mhm.
how did that process even like go about? Like, how'd you get that going for you?
Oh, those two shows. Well, I would say this goes into like manifestation, right? And not the magical stuff everybody beyond, but like not everybody, but and just on some real talk. Like literally, what happened was I was like the first time I opened up for him earlier that because I opened up for him I think a December show the first time. I can't
Yeah,
remember specifically, but
and you did
prior
the
to
one in
that,
Cali too, though.
yeah, they're both in Cali.
Oh,
Um,
you're right. They were both in Cali. Okay.
yep, same locations too. So how it worked out the first time, prior to even getting that show, prior to even having that lined up or even having any foresight of that,
Mm-hmm.
earlier that year or the year before, toward the end of that year, I was like, man, I think I just got put on to Eric Bellinger because that was recently after I dropped Flavor and stuff, wasn't that? I had to be like,
Yeah, that's
it
actually
wasn't
one of
that
my
far
favorite songs
removed.
too. I love that song Flavor. Like,
Thank you.
you got
It
a lot of
wasn't that
music that I
far
like, man.
removed. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that far removed from Flavor and Four Playlist Volume 1. And after I dropped that, after I was doing shows off that, moving around doing little stuff, um, basically in my head, I'm like, I heard Eric Bellinger. I'm like, I need to do a show with this guy one day. Or I still want to do a song with him. That's something I can create as long as the money's right, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we need to
But
get that going. Hey, Eric
I need to
Bellinger,
get
if
that
you're
going.
watching this, get my boy Wax on the track, please.
Yeah, it'll be heat.
Continue.
I'll make the beat. But but anyways, it was like I was saying all these things out loud. My mom's always been a big proponent and always in my ear, even from like when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Always, you got to speak things you really want in life. You got to be bold enough to speak it out loud. So and I still firmly believe that, and I need to get back on that. But anyways, I would always to myself, even just like I need a manager. If not a manager, I need help. Just with my music, like I need not creating it per se, but like moving it. Like I need
Yeah,
to be able to
that
go
makes
do
sense.
shows. I want to do stuff, and you know, it took a little hiatus from some of that. But at the time, I was basically saying these things, and I wanted to, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna be on the same stage as Eric Bellinger one day. And this, you know, back then, it's like this is just a far-fetched idea because I didn't know how I was gonna make that happen. Anyways, fast forward to the year I do the show. Earlier in that year, I'm thinking out loud, like, man, I need a manager or something. I need somebody to help me out. Boom. One of my homies now, he just texted me not too long ago. Actually, he goes by TJ, but his name's Tom. But he's the homie, T Killer. But anywho, shout out to him. He found me on Instagram. We chopped it up. He liked the music. Ended up flying out to LA, and it was on some. It was real like this type of stuff you can't make up because it could have been like he could have been a scammer. He could have been anything. He was just a real genuine dude, cool. Really liked the music. Really wanted to help out the situation and stuff like that. So we chopped it up, kicked it, and he ended up helping me get booked for a show with Eric Bellinger. Boom, go to that show, and this is more quote unquote manifestation. I go to the show, performed, you know, met him. We didn't chop it up long and nothing like that, but it was dope to meet him. But the first time I met him, I didn't take a picture with him, and then and the homies was like, "Why didn't you take a picture with him? You're crazy, you're tripping." Opportunity. Then I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna have another show with him." This is prior to there's no show booked, but in my head, I'm like, that situation had me so motivated and inspired. I was like, yeah, I can do this again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting started. That's where I was at in my head.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah,
a few months, not even a year goes by, but I think it's like some months. He had another show. I ended up opening up for that. Then I got a picture with him. But yeah, it's just a dope situation. And I think obviously there's things I need to get back on as far as that manifesting goes. And I'm on a different trajectory right now. But yeah, man, it's just really just speaking things, really believing what you're saying and executing on your actions towards it. So.
No, I feel it, man. And I mean, now you said that like manifestation, like not on that whole magic thing, but keep in mind that we are some real magical people.
We really are. I just meant it. I meant it in a way of like there are steps that I had to take because I believe that energy is real. You know what I'm saying? That stuff's out there. Like you create there is an objective reality, but you do create your reality through your actions and your thoughts and your beliefs. So
absolutely.
You know, it was one of those things. Like I really had to believe what I was trying to intend to happen, and that's kind of what it was at the time. There was no doubt in my mind. I think once you eliminate doubt, it opens the doors for opportunity. So that's kind of that's how I feel it came.
It takes the weight off of your manifestation. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's how it came about.
We're gonna go to tactic. Okay, so like, listen, I feel like you like channeled your like inner weekend on this track. Cause like when I'm like listening to it, I'm just like, dang, like I think I'm about to go pop some Molly and do a line off of a hooker's ass.
That's what that track is?
I'm joking. I don't do Molly unless that's the name of the hooker. No, I'm kidding. So like seriously, when you wrote Tactic, what was going through your mind? Like what was like? Tell me about the process for Tactic,
bro. So. It's so fun. I don't want to give away the sample. I will give away the sample. So it's called Tactics initially because I used to play a game called Final Fantasy Tactics growing up. I'm a big Final Fantasy.
I'm familiar with Final Fantasy, but I don't know about. Wait, was that
the
mobile game?
It's on PlayStation. No, it's on PlayStation.
Okay.
This is back when. So, you know, anybody who knows me knows I like Final Fantasy is probably one of my best, not best, but my favorite RPG games or whatever. And I played a lot of them.
Was it Tactics? Was that your favorite?
Final Fantasy 7 is my favorite.
Okay, so like, listen, I haven't played the reboot or whatever it was, the remake, but I heard it's really good though. But yes, Final Fantasy.
I played a little bit of it.
Was my favorite.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, and then Tactics. Tactics because it's a different play style. But anyways, the music I got it from. I always like sampling video game music. Yeah. I have a lot. Actually, Chasing Stars. I'm not gonna tell you the sample on here. I'm gonna talk to. Well, you want me to tell you?
No. If you don't want everybody to know, man, we're not gonna tell them.
I'll tell you later.
Hold that secret.
The sample for that, the sample for that's dope. But anyways, for Tactics, I sampled some music from Final Fantasy Tactics. Super dope. The sample is fire. Obviously, you know, it set the whole feel. But the song itself, I don't know if it's an accident. I think that universe just be talking, but the song itself is basically talking about the tactics or the lengths. It's real short. You know, you listen to it, but the verse, I tried to briefly say how, you know, people, they do things inadvertently. People have tactics to their the way they approach relationships or approach dealing with people. But I said it in a way. I'm trying to remember what you're under tipping over. You did it for the closure. Basically, the situation for the song was basically this girl. She basically knew she wanted out of the relationship, or she knew that she was done with the situation, but instead of, or it's not that she was done. It was that, say you break up with a girl, right? A lot of times, I'm speaking in general, so people don't attack me. Like, I'm speaking in general. A lot of times, I don't say girls, but people in general, right? There's this thing where sometimes people have a hard time letting things in amicably. Like, their maturity don't be there sometimes, right? So they feel like, oh, something has to be wrong. So people, usually turns into frustration, resentment, or anger. And sometimes the people, the way they have to come to their own conclusion of like, well, there's no way this could end amicably. Something's wrong with him, or something's wrong with me, or there's some angst there. And so people will create situations. That's why the whole thing
They'll
is
create
like,
a problem.
yeah, she's going out of her way to tactically create this problem so that she can have closure with the situation and have some conclusion to, if somebody asks like, what happened to their relationship? They can say something.
Mm-hmm.
But then the way I ended the verse is talking about how like, it's another thing. I was being honest, like, because I'd be lying if I said I wanted more, but this is all I wanted. But you can't handle that. That's all I wanted out of that situation, even though I was honest about it.
Like, when you write music, like, are you writing from any personal situations that you've dealt with in your life, or is everything just from I've seen a show, or one of my friends went through this situation, or like where's the creativity for the music actually coming from?
That should be personal. It'd be I mean like it's a balance of like I am honest in my music, because I feel like the only people who really know these people are the people, and then maybe people who are really close to me. And then by the time the song actually releases, I've heard other artists talk about this, so I relate with it too. It's like by the time the music's out to the people, whatever feelings in these situations, they've already subsided usually.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already happened and it's not fresh unless I just drop it that night.
Makes sense.
So I'm usually writing a lot of stuff in retrospect, but I am writing usually from personal experience, or I always start my songs with my personal experience, and then the song itself develops into some objective things I may have seen, or subjective situations, or observations. But the premise of the song usually comes from myself.
Gotcha. So
I try to.
So you got like heavy on the personal, but light on like the fluff.
Yeah, I don't fluff it. There's certain songs that like the lad. I know there are songs I do fluff it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last song I think I fluffed it a lot on was Bag on a Bag, but that was like 2016. Like there's been songs in between, but I usually like I'd be like, nah.
But Bad on the Bag was a bop though.
It was a bop. But I'm not about to do that. Like, I mean,
I
not right now. Not, yeah. I mean, there's some of the lyrics. I'm like, I don't necessarily resonate with those lyrics.
Yeah.
Right now, it could be the growth, but yeah, I try to write from an honest premise, because I know that regardless of how I feel about whatever things I've been through or stuff I might have to say, I know that there's people. If one person feels this way, as much people in the world, there's probably millions or billions other that, or even if there's just a couple thousand that can relate and feel the same emotion. So
I agree with you 100%. I mean, if, like you said, if one person feels this way, there's at least 1,000 other motherfuckers that feel the same way. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that with you using like your own personal comings, and putting it down on paper and letting your fans hear it, I think that it gives you the ability to have your fans relate to you from basically every walk of life, because everyone can relate to a situation like that. You have a lot of like music that like people can relate to in many different aspects. And I know we're really short on time, but there's one more song that I want to talk about. So
what's that?
You got Timing.
Timing.
So like, tell me if I'm wrong about Timing. Is it about a woman who wants love unconditionally, but she wants it on her own terms?
Precisely. She wants it without you basically said it. Like she wants to have the kind of guy. It doesn't matter what kind of guy she wants, but she wants this love unconditionally without the consequence of whatever actions that she may have done in the past or is doing.
That's exactly.
But the reality is, like maybe it's up for interpretation, but maybe you missed your window. But a lot of guys aren't going to tell. I mean, how many guys are going to tell the girl that, But I feel like that's where I can be the most honest in my music. But you know, a lot of times I think people miss their windows on things and they don't like to accept it. So they like to turn it into like, well, you know, the whole even with relationships, love me for me thing. That comes there's a caveat to that. What are you doing? Love you for you, but if your actions and your temperament and different things are negative, then should I be loving you for you or should you improve? You know what I mean? So it's one of those kind of songs.
It's
That's
so
actually the
funny
newest
that
song.
it's like,
I recorded that
I
Friday
think
night.
November, didn't you? Some of your
I
songs got
recorded.
dates on them.
I said Friday night. I recorded that. I know. Well, it was the last song I recorded.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Basically, before I closed out the album, it was like the last song I recorded.
so
And
Timing was
then
like one of those songs where like you just had to get it on there. So you like, was it like, cause like the album has 9 songs, and so it seems as though, based off of what you just said, the album was done, but then like you got Timing done, and you were like, this fits.
yeah,
I
I
get it.
listened. I don't know. I mean, you could tell me if it fits or not, but
No, it
sonically,
fits perfectly.
I felt like it just something about the song. I was gonna put it on a different project because I actually have 3 projects in the works right now.
Jesus. So
But
you got, okay. So let's count them down here. We got Wax's World. We
yeah, we
have
got
Chasing
Wax the World,
Stars,
Chasing
and then you
Stars.
got a whole nother project.
We got it's called Boombox.
Jesus, man. Hey, bro. Hey, can we give it up for the hardest working man on the planet here?
But hold on, I'm actually not done because I want to revisit. Now
But
this is
wait,
tentative.
there's more.
There's more. Another one. But it's tentative. It's tentative because the approach, I'm gonna do a different approach on it.
Okay.
But I want to bring back the 4 playlist series. So
So
I want to
part
do a
3.
volume 3. I want to do a volume 3, but I just want it to be done right.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna let you know right now. Foreplay 1 and 2 were 2 of my favorites. You mean you got a lot of my favorites, but then you got Chasing Stars, which again, it may arguably be my favorite album. Now, I'm gonna listen to it like about 7 or 8 more times, and I'm gonna let you know.
I appreciate you. Well, you got the like the most rawest version of it because that's not even the final mixes. But you've kind of solidified that I don't need to go do any more recording.
If I was
In
you, I
that
would
in that
leave
way, like
a
at the
perfect
time, I
body
was
of
like, I don't.
work perfect.
Thank you.
No problem, man. So I think that we are well over time. I want to say thank you for coming onto the show, and thank you for giving us some insight on your process and breaking down all the songs. We truly appreciate you being here, Wax. Can we give it a warm welcome for Wax, please, and thank you. It's been a pleasure, man. Good luck, much to you. Good luck, much to you. I'm gonna cut that. We're gonna edit that out.
No, leave that in there, man. We live, baby. No,
well, fuck it. Well, fuck it. We're gonna leave it in there. All right, you guys. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you,
good
man.
night.
Thank you.
Wax, everybody. Let's give tonight's guest another round of applause. And if you or someone you know has a brand, a product, or talent and wants to be featured on the Midnight Media Review with Moel show, please feel free to email me at therealmoel@gmail.com. And I or my staff will get back to you and try to get you scheduled. But until then, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Remember, life is way too short to not enjoy it. You guys have a good night.